Like if you jumps here and not really high, but maybe 30 centimeter or so, it's the wing above the water. Just cut it together now, so it's another one there. When I jump with the foil, it's totally different feeling than jumping with the fin. With the foil, it's so heavy in the air, and yeah, so it's the board feels really light when the foil is underwater, but as soon as the wing comes up, then it's like the foil is quite heavy. So I thought I would give you a quick review of my new board. It's a MB Boards Wildcat 92 liter. It's a famous freestyle foiler Balz Müller, developed together with MB Boards. It's the special rails that they have. Most of their boards, I think maybe all of their boards have these rails. They are concave, like a peanut shape. And what that does is you can read more about on their website and about I think it's called the Meyerhofer peanut rails. When you're foiling, you don't really have any benefit of these rails, because it's just about something to stand on the platform with some volume and with the foot straps in the right position and some volume under the foot straps and so on. It doesn't really matter so much, I think, the rail shape. But I did another video when I'm using it with the fins, with the thruster fins, and maybe it turns better, I don't know, or maybe it goes better through shop, or maybe it's more nimble because it's a short length. It's only 205 long, and it's planes quite early anyway, even though it's narrow as well. So it's a narrow and short compact board that works like a bigger board, but it's smaller. So if you get the point, it's a good board, I think. I can't really say much more about it. I only tried it with fin once, so yeah, I don't feel like I have enough experience with the fin. And for the foil, this is my third session on the foil, and I started to get more comfortable with the board now. It's quite narrow for a foil board, especially around the foot straps. And when you jibe, then you have to switch your feet, and you kind of don't have enough space for your feet and to put one foot on the rail. But I started to get used to it now. It's just something to get used to. And I think once you get used to it with the foil, and then really easy step to go back to using it with the fin, because then you don't have to change your style or anything. You just continue the same style, and then you just use it with the fin. And because I probably go foiling maybe 90% of my sessions or more on the foil, and then once in a while I put on a fin, and then I'm not used to that, and then a new board and so on. So it's better to have a round board like this for stronger wind anyway, and then for really light wind foiling, then really light wind foiling, then I will use a bigger board anyway, something around 150 liter or so, with 6/8 sail for this foil, like the Glide Wind medium slim foil, or even bigger. I have a Glide large wing with really light wind when I want to do some jibe training or so. But if I go out with a racing foil in light wind, then probably need 9/0. But that's another story. I mean, this board is all about freestyle foil, freestyle and wave sailing and wave foiling, or wind wave sailing. No, sorry. Wind foiling. Sorry, yeah, that's it. Yeah, what I can say about the board is it's light and nimble. It's about 7 kilo, 205 long. It's about 59 centimeter wide. It's quite narrow actually. 59 centimeter. I don't know if that's the measurement in the middle or the widest part that is in the tail and in the front. So it's really awkward shape, but you don't really think about that when you are using it. It feels basically like a bigger board than 92 liter, but at the same time it feels like a smaller board. I don't know how to explain that, but it's a bigger board in a small board package, basically. Yeah, there I try to go switch stance, screw first, and then on the wave, and then turn like a cutback. And then sometimes you get a little bit overpowered from the foil, and then you breach in the turn, or the wing come up over, like you make a slide, a foil wing slide, and you need to pay more attention when you turn tight on the foil. You can't really make it like casually, like with a fin, or just slash it around. You need to like concentrate and lean a little bit forward, maybe, to keep the nose down and make it more controllable. But you can still turn really sharp with the foil. It's just a little bit different technique, and sometimes you forget about that, and then you just go back to turning like normal on the fin, and then that things happen. And all those things also happened a lot. I remember in the beginning when I was starting to turn with the foil, and it happened all the time that I breached like that. So, but you learn by crashing, basically. Getting up on the foil is really easy, and I don't know if it's because of the consistent wind, or I have a lot of power but in the sail, but it's just pops up on the foil straight away. I don't really have to do any pumps, or just put a little bit more pressure on the back foot, and then it goes up. And I guess the board glides very well, because it's a board that it's actually designed for a fin, but they designed it for a fin, but they adjusted it for the foil instead of doing it the other way around. It's just it's a freestyle board for flat water, and then they just added some features on it so that you could foil it, and I think it's a really well developed product. Actually, it does everything well, and maybe it's a bit old-fashioned shape for foiling with the narrow board. It's a crossover shape, but I think it's good enough, and yeah, I don't think that it will hold me back doing anything that I want to do, and the opposite, actually. I think it's good that I can use the same board for fin and foil, and then I have less boards, and less stuff to get used to and use, so I can get, I like it to have fewer stuff that have multi-purpose. And also the sail is a blade. It's a Severne blade. It's actually an onshore wave sail. It's not a foiling sail. For foiling, probably a 4-batten wave sail would be better. That goes totally flat and with no power. Because this sail has a lot of power all the time, almost like a slalom sail. It's a full profile, and So it's not ideal for foiling, but it's depends on what type of foiling. But for going on a race foil, maybe it's good, but for wave riding maybe not so good. But it works. I mean, it's not, doesn't really matter so much with the sail, and so when you're foiling, it's you can use any kind of sail, unless you use the bigger sail, then it's totally different. But for the 5.2, for example, then any sail will be okay. I have the mast track in the middle, and for foiling, that's I think what they recommend. For normal windsurfing with the fin, I have it all the way in the front. The mast track is further back and it's a bit longer than normal, so it's basically perfect for foiling with like now I have even pressure on my front and back foot with the mast in the middle. If I have it in the back, I try that, then I have a little bit more front foot pressure. Then it's better for jumping, but it's not as comfortable to go straight. And then all the way in the front, then it's, as I said, for normal blasting with the fin. That's the only position I tried. I could probably move it a little bit more backwards for fin sailing, I think. Depends on the size, of course. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 centimeter from the front would be good for 5.2 in these conditions with the fin. The harness lines is about I think the 24 inches. It's quite, I think that's perfect for foiling. Sometimes I use 22 as well. And the narrow boom, I think is important. I think that's really important. I think I don't like these wide booms, especially when you're using a narrow board like this. And even if I use a really wide board, and I prefer the narrow boom when I go foiling, and also obviously for wave sailing with fin as well. And then here I go close first now, switch stance, now I turn. It's really nice, those kind of, it's really sharp turns and it feels good. It would be even nicer if the waves would be a little bit bigger and more powerful, I think. And the straps, it's not the original straps, it's that kind contour straps that are quite comfortable. They're really nice when you have no shoes. With shoes they can stick a little bit, but that's normal for most straps. Yeah, so yeah, it's a good board. As I said, I recommend 98 liter for my weight. Just a 92 liter and then 85 kilo, so I can't uphaul it, so it's a bit limited. Then, but for me, when I'm using I have a bigger board for light wind, so then it's perfect for these conditions when you can water start. So you need to be able to water start it, and then I think maybe 5.7 maybe will work, but probably 5.2 or smaller sail will be perfect combination, and enough wind for that. So, but I could water start with this. It's also a lot of technique. You can water start in light winds if you have a good technique, and probably I can water start it down in 6 meters per second or 7 with the 5.2. And but it's hard when you go out in Stockholm, it's gusty and so on, then especially in the winter or when it's cold in the water, and then you can't swim back, so you need, and the wind drops, and you need to get back, and then you need to be able to balance on the board and slog, and then you need at least 98 liter or 96 liter for my weight. That's the absolute minimum, but preferably 150 liter actually, or 130, something like that. In the winter anyway, I wouldn't use. I will always use the really big board in the winter, so I could always get back and don't have to swim. So this is a really specialized board for higher wind for me. But this I really like it. So, and the reason why I bought it is because I want to use it with a fin actually in high winds, but I don't want to have just the board for a fin. I want to have everything should be able to go with the foil as well. So I can bring this for traveling, and then I can bring a foil for the lighter wind and so on. So I don't need so much equipment. And yeah, so good board. But if you have any questions, just leave a comment, and also don't forget to leave a like. If you watched so far now, then it means that you probably like some of the, or feel interested. So you should like and also subscribe to the channel. And there will definitely be some more videos like this, and you can also watch my last video before this one when I was using it with the fin in the same conditions, a little bit more wind, but with the same sail and the same board, and you can compare this video and that one. So enjoy.